Twitch's richest streamer crashed out after Asmongold exposed him by ref. This is... I forgot the guy's name, but he's an ultimate weirdo. I will go along. I have watched a video before covering something that he does, but he's a weirdo. And by weirdo, I mean he makes weird sexual content, and you can catch him on stream occasionally receiving intimate acts of women under his desk. That's all I'm gonna say. You can figure out what women are doing under the desk. You can figure that out by yourself.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we have a lot to talk about involving some drama and other things I know you guys will find interesting. We're going to talk about Asmongold once again dunking on Hassan Piker in a very hilarious fashion.
And we have Hassan, as usual.
And then we're going to talk about Hassan Piker and some lies he's been exposed for. I know, Hassan Piker getting caught in a lie, I can't believe it. But this time it's really hilarious. In the memes coming out of it,
yeah. The fact that he said he was dead broke, but he's actually not dead broke, and he's his mom's a landlord, his father has a $4 billion company, his uncle, yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea. This is not surprising. If that man says he has been dead broke, that is a freaking lie. That is an absolute and utter lie. That man is not broke.
Just chef's kiss, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing what we're seeing here, but there's one other situation we're going to talk about, and that involves the Nina Lynn individual who's been banned on Twitch yet again after a resurfaced clip showed her what many people believe is assaulting another male streamer. This would be the second time this has happened to her. And now, after the second ban, she's finally saying she's sorry. She's so sorry, guys. How many streamers have I covered this week who are dodging accountability like this?
It's mostly women. I'm sorry. It's mostly women. 100 women versus accountability.
It's crazy. But the first thing I want to talk about today involves a very funny situation where this streamer named Deshay Frosts came...
Yep. I think Cameron made a video on him as well. And he showed zero accountability. Not zero. He showed zero accountability, by the way. None. And he also tried to copyright strike people covering him. I feel like I've seen this man from somewhere else before, aside from like streams and YouTube and stuff. Maybe was an actor somewhere? I have no idea.
Came out flexing on people, showing off his revenue on Twitch for the last month. He comes out and shows this, claiming he made $300,000 in 1 month on Twitch, despite having 8,000 subs, which is a very impressive amount of subs.
How is this max viewers per stream? How is there 17,000 people just sitting there? Almost 18,000 people sitting there watching this man.
But people are like, how did you produce 300,000 out of that? And honestly, if it was real, you know, I gotta up my game. You guys gotta help me out. You gotta like, comment, subscribe, boost stuff like this in the algorithm. Super thanks, anything. We got a long way to go. We're getting absolutely blasted out here, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, you know, jokes aside, you can see the note down here. Something wasn't right, and it was Asmongold to come out and prove that this is very likely a fabricated screenshot.
I'm not saying that he's lying, but here's what I am saying. Why is it that this 0 is not the same as that 0?
Yeah, he might be lying. He might be lying. True. Bots. I mean, yeah, bots, very likely. But at this point, you don't even know what a bot is and what's not a bot because, well, you don't even get shown your actual viewers on Twitch anymore.
That's crazy. What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Like, what is this? Now, maybe it's a different amount. You know what? I'll pull up mine right now. How about that? Let's pull up mine. We can see, and we're going to look and find out whether it's the same 0 or not. So what page is this? This could be, it could be on his phone, so I might not have it, but this is on the desktop. I'm assuming the font's going to be the same. Let's look at this 0. Okay, there's this 0. Which 0 is it? It's the other one.
Yeah, that one's fake. This one's fabricated 100%. This one is fabricated 100%. Look at this. The zeros don't match. Yeah, it's fake 100%. How can you do this and be caught in such an obvious lie? Why would you do that? What is the point of this? People are gonna know.
Yeah, it's the other one. You changed the font, buddy. You changed the font. And does anybody even know this?
Yeah, this wasn't looking good from the jump. I mean, this looks like one of those situations where someone gets like a 70 on their test and they have to go get their parent to sign it. So they try to like arc the 7 into a 9. And no matter how hard you try, it just doesn't look quite right. So I think what Asmongold's showing here is pretty definitive proof that he was fabricating this screenshot, which, you know, if you really think about it, why? Like, the guy's clearly making good revenue, like having over 8,000 subs.
Like, why do you have to essentially flex money that you don't have? Like, people can, like, tell. Why would you do that? That's surprising, though. Me, I feel like I'd fall for it. There's probably a few people that did absolutely fall for it. 100%. Sure. You can make it look believable. You can make it look believable. That's not what he did. It's the triple reactception. True. It's like, okay. Okay. Like, yeah, you can make it believable, but he didn't do that at all.
He streamed a very large amount of hours in that month. I'm sure he was juicing as many ads as he could possibly do. That's not even throwing shade. That's just how people function on Twitch. So I'm sure he made a lot, okay? But he's clearly exaggerating, which is kind of sad. The fact that he can't just show off what he already did. He has to exaggerate to a ridiculous total and Photoshop it in the process. Not looking great, but hilariously enough, this Deshy guy, he would come out and respond to Asmongold and basically claim he only went after him because he is a black streamer and also because
nobody cares that you are black. People care that you are retarded. Does this on a cape look believable? Yes, 100%. It does. It does. Like, people don't care that you're black. People care that you are retarded and lying. Stop using your skin color as a defense. We are over, like, 2015 called.
Asmongold is jealous and broke.
Just because, bro, you're not making $300,000 a month.
This is ironic, considering that Asmongold is probably very likely swimming in money. Asmongold is swimming in money. This doesn't even make sense. Asmongold is swimming in money.
Like me, I'm the richest streamer in the world. I'm the richest streamer in the world. You're broke. I'm really the richest streamer in the world, bro. For real. And it's like, when they see another young black man really try to thrive, it's like, why are you on my ass? Why are you on my ass?
You are not the richest streamer in the world, not even by a large margin. What are you talking about? What is this, bro? This is pathetic. This is so pathetic. Dude, this is probably the tiniest dick I haven't seen, but I can hear it.
You, Jesus? Why you on my ass? I you. I'm a young black man trying to get out here. And you over here getting on me about the zeros and the zeros. I came from zero. I came from zero.
Well, there he goes, pulling out the race card on this situation. There's no rebuttal here to what Asmongold is saying. He's not trying to debunk the screenshots and the comparisons. He's just saying he's doing this because he saw that I was a black streamer succeeding. And then you start thinking about things like the claim that Asmongold is broke, which is complete.
Which is like crazy, right? Twitch, or he See, the thing is, he can't even make this amount of money, considering that he makes more on Kick than on Twitch. That does not, while also having more viewers, while also having a little less streamed hours, but regardless, that is already,
completely insane, okay? You don't have...
Like, we can look at the numbers here, right? Almost 20k viewers, I think this is. Let's say 7,000 subs. We have 187, under 67 hour stream, right? Right. And he made 20k. Mathematically, whatever this Deshay Frost is saying does not add up. You cannot have almost a similar amount, but what, 15 times more? That does not make, it doesn't mathematically make sense. Isn't Penguin Zero like in the top 10, if not the top 5 richest YouTubers? Yeah. Yes, he was also up there back when he was on Twitch. Absolutely, yeah. Penguin Zero, right? He showed like what he was making, right? What was it? $35 million, which is like insane. Maybe he just needs someone to talk him out of it. Yeah, I don't think this man, anybody's talking this man out of it. He made some really how do you put it, disgusting videos, and also had really disgusting moments on stream with women.
To be a glazer of this guy to understand he makes a lot of money. In fact, he's very transparent. I think mainly because he just doesn't care at this point what kind of revenue he makes. And he showed off his Twitch and Kick earnings for October. He made $165,000 on Kick and $20,000 on Twitch, which that's an interesting side-by-side. But also on top of that, people really do forget he's got 2 YouTube channels. He has the Clip channel, but mainly the Asmongold TV main channel. I mean, look at this, 150 million views this month alone. That is a lot, okay? In fact, I would be confident in saying that number of views in the last 30 days is probably at the least more than the Kick earnings, if not multiple times. Now, I also know that he, I think, shares the revenue with his editors, so he's not receiving all of that, but that just goes back to the fact that he really doesn't care.
Yeah, as calling Asmongold broke is like, calling Hassan, not rich. Like saying Hassan isn't, didn't grow up affluent.
Care that much. He seems like the type of guy who hasn't looked at his bank accounts in like a year. You know, money never really seemed to be important. And also just think about his sort of upbringing, right? You can see it. He's living in his upbringing, right? To act like he doesn't understand what it's like to come from nothing or whatever. It's pretty ridiculous. But Asmongold would confirm what this guy was claiming. And he says, in a response to a clip sharing this situation, he says, he's right. I did this because he was black. And then he would respond on stream, elaborating on that point.
And so anyway, I said he's right. I did this because he was black. I think this shit is so funny, bro. Giga Rich Man, everyone. He's got to be around. I think this is funny, right?
Yeah, they were slobbing on Bob. Yeah, that's how you also can put it.
And at the beginning, I was like, geez, like, I don't know really if this guy's being serious. Is this guy just a moron, or like, what's really going on here? I think he's just around. I think he's just around, but it is funny.
All right, so this was a different clip he was reacting to than the first one we saw, the first response from Deshay, okay? And when he said he's doing this to a little black man, I think it all clicked. That whether this started off as a serious effort or was all an elaborate troll, I think at this point he's just rage baiting, and this whole situation is really funny. Because there's people out there who would unironically try to say this about Asmongold, criticizing him or her, and we're seeing this guy just playing with it and just trying to make fun of the whole thing. I think this whole situation is just funny, to be honest with you, and one of the more light-hearted beefs / drama you'll see. I don't think any of this is really that serious. But anyways, let's move on to Hassan Piker, who's once again getting clown.
What is this meme, bro? What is this meme? Holy shit, what is this meme? So we got Kaya getting shocked, Fish getting pulled on his tail. Oh my god, what is this meme, bro? What is this meme?
on for what? Well, openly lying and getting caught in 4K. Now, the other day, I briefly shared this clip. We talked about it for a little bit, but since then, there's been a note attached to this tweet that is really, really funny. And to sum up this clip, basically, he came out with this rags to riches story. Yes, Hassan Piker is trying to, in this clip, to say that he didn't grow up wealthy, and then at one point he was dead broke, and then he turned it all around, and now he's this rags to riches story. And
sure, buddy. Sure. That's the thing. By the way, that S, by the way, stands for shock and not for super. I used to really dislike Ref for the merely fact of being a drama VTuber, but then other VTuber drama popped up at VTuber channels popped up, and Ref turned out to be the most composed and respectful of them all. Yeah. Hero Hate is also a pretty good job. I would even say that Hero Hate is also fairly neutral most of the time. He actually cosplays Superman. Pokey, you know, he compared himself to Superman in the past, right? He did. That does not fit him at all. He is not Superman.
It's funny on its face, but it's even funnier because since, like I said, the last time I talked about this, it got hit with this note, and they came prepared with multiple receipts, beginning with this saying Hassan is lying.
When you grow up affluent, as I did, right? By the time you get to f***ing college, even if you go to college in America where you get a slate wiped, basically, because you have no network in the same way in the United States of America, I still did not have to work to you know, ensure that I took care of my family. That would have f***ed over my schooling in the process. You know what I mean? There's a tremendous amount of different societal pressures that I did not have to withstand as a consequence of growing up affluent. Even if they had no money by the time I got to college, it still doesn't matter, right? Because I got a tremendous education.
Yeah, so literally from his own words,
I grew up affluent. I didn't worry about making ends meet or having to take on the job or anything like that. I got a good education. Sounds weird. Do you think that people that are broke can pay for a good education? Do you genuinely think that? Do you this is, you know what we call this? Champagne socialist. I parade the words of a socialist, but not the actions. Classic. That's a superhero, as if he's a superhero fighting for what, right? What's right? Fight for the weak? Yeah, sure. The only thing it fights apparently is his dogs. And Asmongold occasionally. I'm good, and the S stands for supervillain. True. I'm gonna give you a job working at Young Turks. Like, he grew up in a rich family. Maybe not, people want to put him like billions, right? But obviously he didn't really grow up in billions. With billions, yeah. But certainly wealthy.
He says that he grew up affluent and didn't have to worry about making ends meet or having to take on a job while he was getting his education. A very good education, as he describes it. And people are finding some old pictures of Hassan, and wow.
Wait, these are actually Hassan pictures? Like, this is actually, yeah. Bro, absolutely grew up poor. Guys, who of you has ever had, as a kid, the money to go horse riding and wear something like this? Also, as a boy, he was kind of chubby, not gonna lie.
AI couldn't even generate an image this good. People are definitely clowning on this image, and the jokes are, well, they're really funny. But let's continue on. The other parts of the notes here, we already knew this, and I mentioned most of these in the last video. His father was extremely wealthy and is extremely wealthy right from the jump. And also, he was hired by his uncle, Jank, who is on Young Turks, who helped him get a really good gig right out of college. You know, Nepo baby.
Let's a quick reminder that Jank said that he would legalize bestiality. Not like sleeping with an animal, but getting it off. Let us remember that. Let us remember that. Let that not be forgotten. The guy, the streamer that we're talking about. The guy that said, the guy earlier with the yellow mic, that's Hassan.
Type stuff. And also his mom is a commercial landlord. Which again, as I pointed out last time, is very interesting given the fact one of his most viral posts or clips ever is him saying we need to soak the streets with the blood of landlords because capitalism is bad. That's the type of stuff they need to work out in therapy. You know, that's none of...
Capitalism is bad unless I can buy a $3 million mansion. Anyways.
None of my business beyond this, but from there, Hassan would go back and tackle politics. And of course, anything he tries to do these days with that is getting clowned on because, well, Collargate has continued. But anyways, you have this individual saying, is it just me? Or does it feel like every content creator above the age of 30 is doing this political commentary BS? I swear, you guys were playing games, not complaining about this stuff just 2 years ago. What happened? And Hassan says, Trump-era anti-woke backlash made it much more profitable to be a right-wing commentator without social stigma, and it doesn't require any reading or critical thinking to blame everything on woke and gay, and you have an automatic audience of receptive dullards. Yes, this is the biggest cope I've ever seen. This whole thing is gigantic cope. I think a lot of people, to address this post up here, as we've talked about recently,
I don't think that, like, the reason why this is happening is very simple. Because now people aren't, as afraid anymore to state their beliefs. We have seen that. People are more, now more encouraged to state what they believe in. Because if you did that before, you were cancelled on Twitter. As we have just recently witnessed. With an artist. Huh.
There are people who covered gaming news and anime and other things like that, myself included, who saw politics drip into our hobbies.
That's also a reason. I never wanted to talk about politics. But the politics came to me, not the other way around. But yeah, if you don't know with the artist situation, there's an artist, a Muslim artist, who essentially just declined somebody because they requested a queer art. Not because the client was queer, but because the art was queer. I hate that word, by the way, just saying. Regardless. And she was dogpiled, harassed, death threats were sent towards her. It was huge fallout for that. It was huge fallout. It was, and now she has she jumped from 900 followers to almost 9,000. She's probably, as we speak, already approaching 10,000, and tons of commissions probably. But yeah, this is what happened. We had another bake the cake bigot situation. Draw the art bigot. It's creeping into anime, video games, etc. Absolutely. Politics, you mean?
And that's why we talk about things that are a little more political than we might have a couple of years ago. That's just the nature of things right now in many different industries. But when we look at Hassan's part right here, talking about how this anti-woke grind and being a right-wing commentator is just so easy. It's just this revenue machine. Meanwhile, this guy has basically just been doing his whole gimmick of orange guy bad for what, a decade at this point? What is this guy talking about? That has been his meal ticket for the last decade. And of course, Asmon Colt would come in with this reply. Yep, he's basically creating a post for himself. Many such cases, but let's move on to an update regarding the Nina Lin situation and also Zoe Spencer.
I will never, I'm gonna say it again, I will never, ever, ever touched Twitch. Ever touched Twitch. Ever. Because they tolerate SA on stream. They fully tolerate SA on stream. They do. They do not care. And again, my theory is that absolutely 100% Dan Clancy is sleeping with the young women that are streaming on Twitch. That is 100% what I believe. I do not care. Most definitely.
Answer as well. I talked about this. You have to use a freeze frame, but there was this Saeed individual who was assaulted by these two. She was grabbing him by the neck while this girl was twerking on him, and
there was also a clip of him breaking down in tears. So yes, he did not want this.
Later on in the clip, they pin him down. They're like sitting on top of him against his will. He has spoken out against this and said he did not like this. It was uncomfortable. And yeah, this was a big set of controversy for Twitch, especially given the fact that both of these individuals, after these clips went viral, were banned for less than 2 days. Yep, they were banned and unbanned in less than 2 days for doing this live on camera, by the way. But the Zoe Spencer one, the one who was twerking on this poor guy, she went out and basically said that this incident took place back in February, and she already apologized for all this, and yada, yada, yada. And she says her apologies have always been sincere, and she's taking...
I do not believe you. The only reason you're apologizing is because your career was quickly in for a short time in danger, but that's it. You didn't mean it. You made zero amends. You even made fun of him, called it embarrassing that he was that this is considered SA for him. You said he should be embarrassed. Liar. Absolute liar. And you should also be permanently banned. Committing a crime on stream should technically warrant a permaban.
Taking a lot of time reflecting and learning and growing from her mistakes, and I still don't think a lot of people are buying it. But let's talk about Nina Lynn. Okay, she's someone who not only did this, but when she was confronted with that viral clip, she said not only that she didn't do this, lying right to your face, she also said it's embarrassing for a man to be assaulted. Obviously, that didn't really go over very well with people. However, since then, she got banned again, and this time, it's because a different clip has resurfaced, this time
she's unbanned again,
involving disguised toast. And again, can't play it, it's just the way YouTube works, but I'll describe it. He lays down for a massage, and he has an actual professional.
He lays down for a massage. There's an actual professional there, supposed to massage him. She pushes the dude to the side and starts giving toast the massage without him knowing, without him consenting to that.
Person doing it, and she basically secretly pushes that professional away and then starts rubbing on his behind, right? He didn't consent to this. He was clearly uncomfortable. You can see it. And he would come out with a statement basically saying that he was very uncomfortable and he felt very uncomfortable even trying to speak up about it because he didn't want to escalate the situation. And it's just kind of sad that this has happened for a while now to multiple male streamers and people featured on Twitch, and it took like this recent movement, this recent momentum to get anything going on with these situations and to get some actual punishment, which again, who knows how long that's going to last. But Nina Lynn, after the second ban, would finally say those big words, sorry. Yes, she would basically say that her actions and words are inexcusable.
Again, you are not sorry because you think you did something wrong. You are sorry because you were caught. Very simple. Totally simple.
And that she is in no way defending them, And the comments she made about Saeed were completely misunderstood by the public. It was never embarrassing to be harmed or to speak out. We heard the clip, guys. I've played it before. She clearly, that's what she was talking about, all right? And then she goes on further to say, in regards to Toast, I was also out of line. Although I did not move the massage therapist out of the way like he described I had, and I asked for permission from Toast before he lay down, I still shouldn't. So she's deflecting blame and basically saying he asked for it, which she doesn't have anything to prove it. But
the classic. This is like the classic for male victims. He wanted it. He asked for it. If he didn't want to, why did his dick get hard? Same energy. This is literally the same energy. So stupid. Yeah. A classic.
But yeah, that's that update. You can probably guess how well this apology is going over with everyone. But this just kind of plays into things we've talked about the last couple of days with Twitch. We talked about that big round of layoffs at Amazon that has trickled.
Damn. Twitch XX slams Amazon for cutting 14,000 jobs in AI shift. Robots don't give a fuck. True. Twitch is facing another brutal round of layoffs as parent company Amazon slashes tens of thousands of corporate jobs amid a major pivot to artificial intelligence. This platform's cooked.
Down into Twitch, and another person at Twitch has jumped ship. They did not get laid off. Instead, they have left the company to pursue new opportunities, and this time it is Twitch's global head of communications. So a pretty major role. And the Nina Lin and Zoe situation.
There was also another dude fired or let go that actively hunted down VTubers, like no joke. Bro was only banning VTubers and nothing else. Really funny.
It really is just another example of Twitch's total incompetence, and I feel like people are starting to realize, especially after the layoffs, that yeah, it might be time to jump ship on Twitch. We've seen a lot of content creators do it, and now I feel like we're seeing personnel doing it before they get laid off or this platform goes completely under. But anyways, that's going to do it for the situation. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
My beliefs are incredibly simple. Shut it down. Shut it down. Of course, this is sad for a lot of the smaller streamers, but at this point, looking at how badly it does numbers-wise, I'm absolutely seeing this platform shut down in like the next 5 years or so, and deservedly so. With this kind of reputation, I'm surprised that Amazon has not pulled the plug sooner. Or just absolutely nuke the shit. There's two options. Either you start actually properly enforcing your TOS, you fire Dan Clancy, and you rebuild your reputation from the ground up, or you just shut it down at this point. At this point, shut it down. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.